Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the time and in your corner of the world where you're watching my video. Once again, I'm happy to be here to present another topic. My name is Debbie. For those of you joining me for the first time, I'm Debbie Olabisi. I'm a specialist protection advisor. I'm a best-selling author and a speaker. Now, my channel, the purpose is to educate and inform my viewers on issues that I find to be very, very pertinent. In my line of business, I've witnessed a lot of things happening because people are not prepared. And why are they not prepared? They're not prepared either because they do not know, or they feel, I'll do it later, and they keep postponing. And then the unexpected thing happens, and a lot of mess that could have easily been avoided now begins to play. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about wills. What is a will? Why do we need a will? What purpose can be achieved by writing a will? In simple terms, a will is a document that expresses a person's wishes as to what will happen to their asset on their death. A will is only a method to ensure that your wishes are carried out after you die. And in life, we have only two guarantees: tax and death. No avoiding both ones. So when that time comes, you should be prepared, or you should have tidied up all your loose ends. Now, if a person dies without a will, that person has died what we call intestate, and the assets of such a person will be distributed according to the law of intestacy. This differs from location to location depending on where you are. I'm based in UK, so I'm going to be speaking mostly on what applies in UK. Now, the laws of intestacy will distribute the asset of somebody who died without a will, but that may not be their wish. In any event, it is likely to take longer than if a will was in place, and it will likely cost more money for the estate and could lead also to the estate being taxed more. These are the reasons why it is important for everyone, anyone over 18 should write a will, because there's so many things. A will gives you a voice from beyond. Now, during this time when the intestacy is being processed, your family, your beneficiaries will not be able to draw any money from your estate. And this can cause arguments between your family members. It can cause distress for your loved ones. And if there's no valid people to inherit, at the end of the day, all that you have worked for will go to this government. I'm sure even if you have no one to inherit you, you might be happier just passing your assets to charities rather than leaving it to the government to do it as they please. Now, what are the reasons for making a will? There are various reasons to make a will. Number one reason, like I said earlier, it affords you the opportunity to distribute your estate the way you wish. Now, it affords you the opportunity to select executors and trustees. Now, executors and trustees are people that you trust that will carry out your wishes as you have stated it in your will. Writing a will also affords you the opportunity to appoint guardians. Now, we all know that the social service system do their best within their capability to take care of underage children should the worst happen to their parents. My question to you is, if something happened to you, who would you want to look after your underage children? Somebody you know and trust? Somebody the children already know and trust? Or you want to leave it to the state? The state will do their best, but trust me, they are only the social workers will just be ticking boxes. And I'm sure you don't want that for your child. Writing your will also affords married couples to distribute their estates the way they want it. It is a fallacy for married couples to assume that my spouse will get everything. That may not always be the case. Under the law of intestacy, children can have a right to part of the estate if it is large enough. Now, even if a will is made before the marriage, the will would have been revoked by the marriage unless the will stated it is still to stand. In our world of today, we have more blended families, and that could also bring complicated issues relating to distribution of estate. So it's very important to write your will. Still in this issue, for unmarried couples, the risk is even higher if you do not write a will. Unmarried couples do not have the same legal rights as those who are married. In my years on this job, I have seen couples that have been together for years, but they never tied the knot. What they do not realize is that should one of them pass on, the surviving partner will find himself or herself in a difficult situation that they never envisaged because they did not tie the knots. Writing a will also affords you the opportunity to prepare for disaster situations. It's always advisable to include provisions to provide for disaster situations where an entire family is lost. This could be giving the estate to charity or to close friends. You know, sometimes, especially now we're approaching summer, we see families book holidays and travel. God forbid something happens and the whole family perish during their holiday. Who is going to inherit their estate? Their loved ones, their favorite charities, or the government? I would like to know your answer. Another benefit of writing a will, you see, if you have an existing will, it's always advisable to revisit the will every couple of years, especially if you've had a life-changing event, or maybe you want to change your mind about beneficiaries of some of your assets, or maybe you've even disposed of some of those assets that were in your original will. Now, your existing will may need reflecting, will need updating to reflect any change of your circumstances. For example, including additional grandchildren or removing people who you no longer wish to benefit. It may also be the case that the old will is no longer the most efficient way to distribute an estate due to changes in the law. So my recommendation is every couple of years, maybe 3, 4, 5 years, just have a look at your will and see if there's anything you would like to change. Writing a will also affords you to plan for inheritance tax liability. Now, the rules of inheritance tax have become more and more complex in recent years. Having a professionally drafted will can ensure that your estate is distributed in the most tax. One other thing you can achieve by writing your will is inheritance tax planning. We're alive, we're working, you pay a minimum of 20% tax. By the time one dies, your estate is liable to a minimum of one there's a likelihood of a 40% inheritance tax liability. Now, the rules of inheritance tax have become more and more complex in recent years. Having a professionally drafted will ensures that your estate is distributed in the most tax efficient manner. Another thing you can achieve by writing a will is the protection of your assets. Now, it's fairly common to wish for assets to be protected. This could be from a spouse remarrying, from a spendthrift child, or if you have a child who has special needs and would need care for all their life. Professionally drafted wills can include provisions for trust to be set up on your death to ensure assets are protected and disbursed as at when due. So, why should you use a will writer vis-a-vis writing a will by yourself? I'm a member of the Society of Will Writers, and the Society of Will Writers is a non-profit making body which exists solely for two purposes: to raise the public's awareness of the importance of making a will, and to act as a regulatory organization to ensure its members are properly trained and fully competent. As soon as you have decided to write a will, and by the way, the sooner the better, because we have no guarantees. The only guarantees we have in life: tax and death. Anyone can call themselves a will writer. You can even do it yourself with a form from a well-known stationers. But only a properly trained professional can ensure that your will is correctly drafted. Homemade or badly made wills can just be as bad as, or even worse than, no will at all. If you want further information, please feel free to type in your questions or your comments and contact me. I'm happy to offer a free consultation. Thank you for watching my video. Please click the like or subscribe button. I post videos every Wednesday so that you get a notification every time I post a new video. Thank you, and see you next time. Bye.